Today I'm going to answer the age-old question, what is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is found within the creator of life. Because if you think about it, if you create something, why do you create it? You create it for yourself. And so therefore, whatever the being is which created life, created it for themselves. And so I'm going to use Colossians chapter 1 to show that all things were created for and by and held together by Christ. The meaning of life is Jesus Christ. Most people create things, and you think about it, would you really give your life for whatever you created? If what you created owed you something, would you pay the debt of that which you created? And the answer is probably no. But in the case of human beings, in the case of our life and our existence and our eternity, the meaning of life is Jesus Christ, and He is our Creator, and He is the one who paid an ultimate price so that our debt could be paid that we owed. And so therefore our lives are His. He has bought us. He has paid for us with a heavy price. And should we feel like slaves of bondage under something that we can't uphold, a yoke of slavery? No, because Christ's yoke is easy and His burden is light. All He asks is that we trust Him and trust in good things and nothing bad. He didn't ask us to hurt anyone, to kill anyone. No, He asks us to love everyone and to be kind and gentle. He asks us to be merciful. He asks us to be as He is, which is loving to the very end. And so don't feel like if the meaning of life is Christ, then where do I fit in? Don't say that. But understand that the meaning of life being Christ is of nothing but benefit to you. And I'm going to start in Colossians chapter 1. I'm going to start in verse 15. It says, He is, in Christ, the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. Because by Him everything was created, in heaven and on earth, the visible and the invisible. Whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through Him and for Him. He is before all things, and by Him all things hold together. He is also the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, so that He might come to have first place in everything. For God was pleased to have all His fullness dwell in Him. So God's fullness dwelled in Christ. And through Him to reconcile everything to Himself, by making peace through the blood of His cross, whether things on earth or things in heaven. Christ created all things on earth and heaven, and reconciled all things to Himself by His own blood. He is the meaning of life. He is the reason all things were created. All things are held together by Him. All things are made for Him. We too much try to focus on ourselves and we fall short. But if we will focus on the cross, we will focus on Christ, we will no longer fall short. All of us have a tendency to be selfish, to want to look after our own good. But I promise you, if you will trust, lean on God, and put His kingdom first, He will take care of whatever it is that you need. And you think you may need many things that you don't need. Let me put it this way. Paul says that he learned to be happy whether he was full or hungry, whether he had much or had little. He could do all things through Christ who strengthened him. And so can you, and so can I. Why? Because Christ is the meaning of life. He is the reason you were created, and He created you. For what? For His own purpose. And what was His purpose? To show His great love for you, and to reconcile you back to Himself by the cross. And so, I pray and I hope that you understand this. And you and I both, we turn away from ourselves, from our own wants and our own nature, and turn to the spiritual nature of Christ, which is simply this: trust in God for all things, and put on love, which is the perfect bond of unity. Be patient, be kind, be peaceful, be faithful, Be good, be gentle, be full of self-control. Allow God to control you. Do these things. Do not be afraid to do these things. And put on Christ and all of His compassionate mercies. Read your Word. Read Colossians and understand the character of Christ. Understand the character of God. And understand that He is the meaning of every breath you take. He gives you every breath, and He is the meaning of every moment of your life. In Christ's name, amen.